All right, everybody. I just hit record. We're going live here on Twitch. I've got at least one person in stream right now. Maybe we'll get some more in just a little bit. But as we're waiting for the crowds to come in, welcome. Getting ready to play a pinball game that makes you mad. I got the demo here going on. Gonna put some time into it. Hello, guys. Hello, Galaxy says, and we're gonna play. We're gonna play. So I'm just shifting gears over here. Hit record. Welcome. Thank you for our friends over at Press Engine that sent along the code for this. We've got a button for the flippers, and we've got slow-mo mode, fast mode. Okay. Gotta remember, those are my bumpers. Fast on the right. Press Engine is on fire this week. You know, I really appreciate them sending over.
This is a game made to make you mad, so I suggest you press no. Although, if it's been a long day at work, I understand.
I'm gonna go with no for right now.
Welcome to the World Select. So many choices. Well, sort of. Since this is only the demo, you get one. Just
Okay.
one. The others are locked away like shiny treasures behind a glass case. But wait, what's that? A wish list button? A button to join a Discord? Try those and maybe new choices will be in your future.
I love a game that's self-aware. All right.
There you are. How did you manage to get in there? No matter. It seems you have places to go.
Okay, that was like a really slow.
Oh, it seems you can turn into a marble. I'm not exactly sure why you would want to do that. Careful! Oh, never mind.
Now we're going backwards. So this is going to be about peak timing, possibly.
Oh, what a shame.
I'm not really feeling mad yet. I don't know if this is one of those games that... What's up, Bat from the ceiling? Oh man, I was reading chat and I totally missed that. That was one of the most self-aware narrators I've ever heard, for sure. Yeah, I do think this actually might be along the same lines of getting over it. I don't think it's from the same developers, but
Now we approach the first climb. How exciting. Did you mean to do that? Bold strategy.
Bold strategy, Cotton.
Oh dear, that was unfortunate.
That was unfortunate. I bet you this is going to be a speed running. The flipper's not really reacting like typical pinball flippers is a bit much. Oh,
Back down we go. Consider
that?
it practice.
I'm not really sure.
Wow.
The
Monologue 1 of 10. The making of this game. This game is obviously inspired by many games that came before it. Most notably, Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, a difficult game about climbing, Get to Work, and even some classic pinball games like Space Cadet.
A graceful fall, if nothing else.
To give you the story of how I first came up with the idea to make a pinball game that makes you mad, I first need to explain the fact that I was working on a game before this. It was an extremely complex roguelike cooking game called Food Truck Union, and it had some cool ideas, but it just wasn't really fun. And I worked on it for a long time, And finally one day, while I was watching Pontypants' devlogs for his game, a difficult game about climbing, I just thought, I should make something that is just fun, just simple and fun, and it should be fun a week into working on the prototype. And my current game I was working on just wasn't that good. So, I thought, Pontypants' game, a difficult game about climbing, is pretty simple. It's a great game, don't get me wrong, but it's a pretty simple concept. Monologue 3 of 10. My favorite energy drinks.
Okay, so hitting
a lot of different energy drinks in my life.
Hitting the slow-mo
not saying
button
it's a
and the
good
speed
thing.
up button. The
Probably
speed
should
up button
stop,
gets you
but
the
I'm
jump
probably not going
scares.
to. And I've had quite a few favorites over the years. Currently, my most favorite is Celsius, specifically a Celsius guava kiwi. 0 sugar and lots of caffeine. So,
And now he's monologuing
healthy,
about
but not really.
Celsius.
One energy drink that I really don't like is Rockstar. I feel like it tastes like, pure sugar mixed with battery acid. So,
And now he's monologuing.
yeah, I guess I hope Rockstar doesn't hear this.
I wonder how many monologues this game has.
One classic is Red Bull. I like it, but I don't know if I like it only because I see the cool stunts they do on social media, or if it really tastes good. It's also really expensive compared to
we've already been
all
down
other
here
energy
before.
drinks.
Are you
Which
looking
I
at
guess
something?
they just get away with because of their brand.
I bet since all the
image.
levers are activated at the
So,
same
good job
time,
on them, I
there'll be a
guess.
lot of annoying puzzles.
One thing that's not
I
really
missed
an
anything during
energy
the break?
drink, but is
You
my
missed that.
favorite drink of all time, is a mint yerba mate out of one of those yellow cans. I don't know what the
Bats,
brand
now
is
he's
called.
monologuing
And I don't mean like
about
real,
Red Bull.
It's not really like real yerba mate tea, but it's like, I guess got yerba mate tea in it, but it's like also has sugar and caffeine and carbonation and stuff. But oh my god, there's like something in those drinks. I think they're gonna figure it out in like 10 years. There's some addictive substance other than caffeine that makes you just want to have 5 of them every day. But now that I live in Cambodia, I can't access them. So
This guy
I'm
lives in
drinking a lot of
Cambodia?
black coffee. And I don't think you can
My
really
in-laws
get those many places.
are
I'm from Oregon.
missionaries
and
there.
I think they have a lot more unique energy drinks there. A lot of quote-unquote healthy energy drinks that aren't really healthy. But like when I've gone to the east coast of the United States, I don't really see as much. But maybe I wasn't looking in the right places.
Is this a new speed run strategy? Oh, you're a true pioneer.
There's a lot of others. You got Monster. Monster's fine. It's a little bit better than Rockstar, but definitely won't choose it.
You genuinely
I
had it.
wish that there was
and
an
then
energy
you
drink
didn't.
that
Oh,
had
remarkable talent.
more.
I would
like
get
a
so
Celsius
angry
that
already.
was like 5 times as big, so you could just
man.
drink it throughout the day.
Jack,
instead of
I
drinking a
still
tiny one and
Bats.
then wanting
Sorry,
another one.
I
And,
have
next
yet
thing you know, you're drinking 600
to
milligrams of caffeine and
manage Red and
you're just sitting there
Fred.
coding. But yeah, I'm probably forgetting some others, but I'm also already been talking about this for 3 minutes, so I'm probably gonna stop it here. So yeah, hope that was insightful and not a waste of the last 3 minutes
Is
and
all
15
progress
seconds of your life.
truly temporary? Do you
Cat
understand
theme
the name of
unlocked?
the game now?
Okay.
Oh, I do love cats. I think you should try that one.
I mean, I'm not getting mad because I think
Monologue 4 of 10, living in Cambodia. I bet you didn't know that the developer of this game lives in Cambodia, but I
do
did not
now.
always live here. I was actually born and raised in the Pacific Northwest in the United States, specifically in Hillsboro, Oregon, which is just outside of Portland, Oregon. And I very much loved living there. I loved the weather and the rain. I know a lot of people don't like it, but especially when you like to be inside a lot on your computer, the rain pouring outside was always very nice. Never got too crazy hot usually. And it did snow sometimes, but not enough that it got annoying. It was funny though, living somewhere where it snows sometimes, but you might even have years where it doesn't snow at all. People were very sensitive to snow. So much so that when I was in school, sometimes we would have school canceled because they thought there was going to be snow, and then there wasn't even snow, which I always thoroughly enjoyed. But why did I go to Cambodia? It's not really a super common decision to make. And it's because when I got out of college, I worked for a couple studios, and then I decided I want to make my own game. And the cool thing about game development is all you really need
What's
is
up,
your
JT? Hey,
and
hey.
internet. And you can do that from anywhere.
Okay, hold on. I can't read the chat. All right. I would get so angry all the time. Yep.
So
No judgment. I never got past the opening of Bread and Fred. Same
to
bats.
the conclusion that this would be a cool place to experience. That was very different than what I was used to. So, kind of pretty much a month after I decided to do it,
They say
on a
what goes up must come down.
on my own.
Surely that's
flew
not
here.
always true.
It was quite the interesting experience when I first came here. Pretty scary, not because anything bad happened, but just because Siem Reap, Cambodia is a very different place than Hillsborough, Oregon.
Oh, jeez.
And so getting used to that was something. But now that I've been here for as long as I have, it's pretty cool. You get used to it, and there's a lot of things I miss about living in the United States, but a lot of things I don't. Number one being how expensive everything is. But I think it's been a great experience, and I definitely recommend that if anyone ever has the idea to move somewhere else and has the means to, they should do it, because it's probably not going to hurt you unless it does, which then I don't know what to say about that.
His monologues are great, though.
Yeah, one of the cool things about living here is it really makes you appreciate parts of your culture that are so ubiquitous when you've lived in it your whole life. You know, even simple things like it's Super Bowl Sunday. Everyone, pretty much every single person in the United States knows, maybe they don't care about it, but they at least know it's happening. And it probably affects their day in some way, whether it's, you know, someone they know caring about it, or, you know, the game's playing at the restaurant when you go there or whatever.
Everything
but
is
here,
green.
basically nobody even knows it's happening. Same
part.
thing for holidays like Thanksgiving. You know, I've asked people, hey, do you even know about that? And they're like, no, because why would they? And then there's a lot of things that happen here that someone in the United States would have no idea is happening. Like Khmer New Year. It's like a super fun holiday where the entire city has water guns. Like literally everybody in the entire city has water guns. You go through the city and everyone's spraying each other, and you're in a tuk-tuk driving through, and you know, you might get sprayed with water gun. It's like the craziest party, and we have nothing like it, at least where I lived in the United States. Anyway, that's enough about that. Thanks for listening.
I like listening about the monologues. That's actually kind of a cool thing. I'll have to actually send this game to my father-in-law, because he has lived in Cambodia for like a dozen years. So some of the stuff that he talked about are things that I've heard about. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's definitely, like, at least it's a chill game.
Monologue 5 of 10. My favorite content creators. I watch a good bit of YouTube and that kind of stuff. It's, in my opinion, much more entertaining than the average Netflix show.
I don't know about...
And later in life, I got into streamers and stuff like that, too.
Entertaining.
The absolute OG content creator for me, Game Grumps and Super Mega, when I was younger. Watched a lot of that for that comedic gaming content. I recommend you check them out. Nowadays, you know, I've matured, you know, to more intellectual content like Germa. You know, stuff like the baseball stream and the Dollhouse stream, classics. And speaking of Germa, everyone in the Four Horsemen Pokelawls, Vinny Vine Sauce, Stir. Those streams are
You'll
always
get 'em
so
next
fun.
time, Tiger.
Probably some of the best content on the internet.
Uh-oh. No!
Someone very different than Jerma, Northern Lion. He actually played this game. He played the demo. And supposedly he's going to play the full game. So definitely watch him if you want the most like intellectual sentences on Twitch, which is not a high bar. But, you know, that's what he's about.
Oh,
And then of course, you know, you got the basic
just-
Ludwig,
Nope,
all those
going all the
cool
way back.
people. Squeaks, gotta shout out Squeaks. Some good content.
Ah, yes.
Except for when
The
you play
scenic
CS2,
route.
I just can't
That's the scenic
care
route.
about
That's
that at
exactly
all.
what I'm
But,
doing.
Same with one Ludwig
Oh.
plays League of Legends. Sorry. A kind of much more niche pick for a content creator is a funky diabetic. He's someone who makes basketball, NBA content, and he just literally puts up a picture of some player, some still image, and talks about the game and breaks down stuff. And I don't watch a ton of basketball stuff, but for some reason he just makes very entertaining content.
Oh, I'm gonna
Learn
Steve.
about some history. The Rest is History as a podcast and YouTube show.
No!
Which is my absolute favorite historical podcast. Breaks things down in a fun way, and they do funny voices, which is cool. If you're a game developer and you want to learn more about game dev and get really practical advice about how to maybe actually make a living, not that I can really talk about that yet, we'll see how this game sells, but Thomas Brush, best channel
Thomas
on
Brush.
YouTube, in my opinion. He
I
does a lot
watch
of
him.
podcasts with game developers and a lot of stuff to learn. And that's part of the reason I made this game, was because some of the advice that he gave.
If you're into baseball, John Boy Media.
Probably that whole network is about as good as it gets.
Rick Glassman has a really nice podcast. It's kind of awkward, but it's same with Bad Friends with Bobby Lee and
Santana.
I hope if you fall
really,
really far, you don't react.
Another.
Oh,
If you've ever
I've
heard
never
of
actually
Old
watched
School
any of
RuneScape,
his stuff.
Makes absolute banger videos.
I only
that are
know who
crazy,
he
the
is
amount of time
from
he
like
puts into
things
them,
that some of my students have
all
shared.
for a 40-minute video.
I have
or
somehow
10-minute video or whatever.
avoided
And then a very niche.
his stuff.
I mean, I don't know if this is the most niche channel that I'm gonna call out, but Nothing But Lag. Gotta call my boy out. Check out his stuff.
I don't know if there's anything
funny.
up there that's
He
really
plays-
worth the while.
Game and make video.
Whee!
But you know, I'm just basically listing channels. I mean, of course, there's Devin Henderling, the best. If you just want to see shorts over and over again every day about one game, then you can follow me. But that's
I don't know
hopefulll
if
make some
you'll
different
like
kind of
my-
content
yeah.
at some point.
But
But
again, I know
yeah.
of him.
Anyway,
There's nothing
it's
that's
probably
really
long
been
enough.
like,
But
oh, gotta watch him.
Some of the top hits, in my humble opinion. So yeah, I'll leave it at that.
But I'm not 100% sure how I feel about this game, other than
A minor setback.
yep, a minor setback. I feel like the react time, because it's like you have to wait for the ball to actually get to a certain spot before you can just launch it, and it's
If
got to be
at
going at a
first
certain
you don't
speed,
succeed, oh, you know the rest.
just like pinball. Oof. Didn't want to mess it up. Come on, roll. There you go. Oh, man. I'm about to be not family friendly, I'll tell you that. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not getting... I knew this game was going to be like this. I'm just curious. Like, I was curious about it.
I blinked.
It's
What
not
happened?
laggy.
Oh.
It's
that.
just the inputs feel like on the flippers feels intentionally cumbersome and slow. Again, this is a demo. I'm not sure. And I can hit the, speed up buttons. And I got a slow-mo button and a fast forward button.
Let's pretend that didn't happen.
But it doesn't seem to help me any. Yeah. Bats, what do you think? Well, I lost my internet. No! I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. Not having internet is the worst. But I went to give this game at least a little bit of a try. 20 minutes in. Not really getting anywhere. Been up here before. Oh. Uh-oh.
Another chance to reflect on your choices.
But in the end, it's only... Hey, Next Tempest, welcome in, welcome in. How are you doing? I see you're lurking. It's all good. I appreciate the lurk. This is definitely a lurk. Check back in with me kind of game. Apparently it's Amazon's fault. I sure hope it's not Amazon's fault. They had the big goof up yesterday. We were actually without some of our web services for our Family Life site. Nothing too crazy, but like I couldn't get into my task manager. So some of the projects I was working on, I didn't have all the information on what needed to be done.
You're starting to make this look intentional.
Listen, dude. Oh, you know what?
Monologue 6 of 10, my favorite music. Now this is something that is fun to talk about. You know, when I first really was like, oh yeah, listening to music is something you can do.
That's okay.
You know, I had a friend who liked Green Day, so I was like, well, the only thing you can do is listen to Green Day. That's the only cool music. And then I figured out there's actually other music that existed in the world. And that was exclusively rock. You know, Bad Religion, all the classics, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Rolling Stones, all that kind of stuff. Didn't branch out too much, but then on one fateful day, I had a friend who said, oh, there's this guy named Tyler the Creator. And I was like, no, this is like weird. What is this, hip hop pop? I don't know. I can't be about this.
I can't.
But then I realized actually I really like this a lot. I actually like this more than what I was listening to before.
No!
So
It's okay.
Green Day is cool.
Tyler the Creator was my awakening into the fact that there was other kinds of music than rock.
Consistent.
You know, had
Consistent
my
in falling.
pure hip hop phase, all kind of stuff, you know.
I never had a hip hop
My,
phase.
Nothing too exciting there, pretty basic.
I had a Green
But
Day
I've
phase.
realized, I don't know
Linkin
if this
Park
is true for everyone, but
phase.
as I get older, I just continuously like more and more music to the point where now there's like very little music that I like would
No.
definitively say I don't like. Besides modern country, I'm sorry to say it. Johnny Cash I can do, but modern country, not my thing. Some other shout outs I'll give: Reggie Snow, good artist, Caroline Polachek, A.G. Cook, a little more upbeat, energetic
I'm about to
stuff.
switch to a different game.
You know, as I look at musicians, I realize I'm not as confident sometimes in how to pronounce them, but I am confident in how to pronounce MF Doom, Mad Lib, and
I'm in a
Freddie
metal
Gibbs.
phase, but I really hope it's not a
Some
phase. Nice.
absolute banger artists. Video
I mean, I
Age.
feel like
this is
all
like kind of pointless. I'm just like listing off
my Rebellion
names
came in like
that and not really
high
saying anything
school,
about them.
and like Linkin
So
Park
realistically,
was
no one's gonna do anything with this information, but
huge for me in
that's
that
okay.
regard.
Sometimes it's just about filling the dead air, which hopefully I'm doing all right. One, if you
Yeah,
like
definitely filling the
alternative,
dead
like
air.
kind of hip hop alternative, kind of Tyler the Creator kind of stuff.
Good.
Dami and JD Beck
I love Linkin Park. Yeah.
had an absolute banger album. I seriously suggest it. Same thing with Thundercat. That's some good stuff right there. I wish I could, like, some of these people I'm saying, I wish I could just make them the soundtrack for the game, but they would make me pay quite a bit, so that's not going to happen. But anyway, I'll leave it there. That was maybe not the most interesting, but now you know what the developer of this game listens to. Bye-bye.
I like how he's added in these monologues. I think that's honestly because this game is quite frustrating. Honestly, my favorite part.
Monologue 8 of 10. My future plans for this game. I'm recording this on October 10th, 2025.
Oh, wow.
The demo has been out for a few days.
Oh.
Had some people play it. It's been super fun. But the game is not done being made. I have completed the second
Yeah, I think I
world
hit the
of
button.
game, which is available in the full version, which you're probably playing statistically.
Nope, not playing the full
And
version.
I'm going to begin making the third world very soon here, and I'm planning to make it by far the most difficult.
Most
and I might
difficult?
just make it not have any checkpoints to make it like, if you're going for the hardest world, why have checkpoints?
Oh, you
I don't know, I haven't
really do
decided.
Keep me on my toes. Mostly because
But what are my
you're not
future
on
plans for
yours.
this game? It's obviously not a multiplayer live service game, so I'm not going to be releasing season passes every 3 months. And I'm also one person, so I couldn't do that anyway. But I do think there's some cool things that can be done.
I feel like a gravity ball.
I would love to make some more worlds. And this is all dependent on the game doing decently well. If I sell 300 copies, I'm still going to be very thankful, but it's probably not enough to justify continuing to work on this game.
Yeah.
But if I sell a good amount of copies,
Game dev is
and I've got
expensive.
some runway to keep working, I think making some new worlds would be cool.
I don't wonder what it takes to
Maybe
actually
making like a
make
really, really
these
big
worlds.
world.
A tactical
Because right
form.
now the
I respect
the first world is really
creativity.
small. It's like the demo world. And the other two worlds, I think they're similar size to getting over it. More or less getting over the game.
I'm sorry.
But it maybe be cool to make one that's like 10 times as big. That'd be kind of cool. One thing I really would think could be really cool is multiplayer. And this is kind of a weird game to make multiplayer. How do you have multiple balls? Who controls the flippers? How does
Sopa
that
is
work?
better at this.
I think one way to keep it cool
Maybe
is like
Galaxy.
join a lobby with your friends, and it's the same maps, and it's still one ball, but each
Maybe.
player controls. Let's say you have a lobby with 4 people. Each person controls every 4th flipper. Figure out how that would work, but
Every
there's
4th
some-
flipper.
you have to coordinate, and I think that would be pretty fun because all it would take is one person to miss a jump, and everyone else gets to be mad at them.
Oh yeah, just what I need.
And
More
I
people.
think that could be cool, and it's pretty doable. Although I've never made a multiplayer game before,
I can
so that would
tell you are getting better.
Am
be a new
I?
experience.
Am I learning?
But yeah, that could be cool. I think, and I'd like to add more themes. Some seasonal themes would be cool too. I am planning to make a skeleton theme. Doesn't exist yet, but for Halloween, right when the game releases. But maybe some sort of holidays.
I
winter
don't understand.
holidays
The
theme.
ball sometimes
You know, maybe
Comes back.
You know, if my Mariners win the World Series, maybe I'll make a Mariners inspired theme. I don't know.
Ah!
But if you have ideas for things within reason, send me an email with the email on the Steam page or message me on social media, and I would love to hear it, genuinely. But I don't know. Maybe that doesn't make sense to make multiplayer and dual stuff. Maybe it's better as just the core release experience. If I do make new content for the game,
Go, go, go. Go, go,
such as
go.
new worlds, I don't know whether they'd be paid or not.
Okay.
I'd love to release free DLC,
No!
but it just depends on how well the game does. Like, it doesn't have to do that well. If it just does well enough that I can, like, get by, then I'll make it free. That'd be cool. But it might be a situation where I have to charge $1 or $2 or something just to make it make sense for me to be able to keep working on it. But anyway, we'll see. And yeah, I mean, maybe a sequel could be in the future. But anyway, hope you're enjoying the game. If you've got this far in the monologues, I'm quite surprised that you're hearing this. But I appreciate it.
Okay,
Hope things are going well. Hope you're not too mad. Bye-bye.
Not too mad. Not too mad. Mad, but not too mad.
Can we get some W's in the chat?
W's. Okay. W. I don't know why, because it does not feel... No!
You're not the first to fall there.
No! No! Alright. I'm gonna stop there, because we're at 30 minutes with this game. And right now I can't. I need a little bit less of this in my life. But that is a pinball game that makes you mad. Azimuth Studios. I really enjoy the monologues, okay? It's like a little dev diary. I hope there's more of them in the full game. Someone wrote, I like this game, however, the game's purpose has failed, and it has brought me nothing but whimsy and joy and no anger. I am very bad at the game, and I have been on the first level for 2 hours on the third section. However, it's still very fun. Awesome. I'm going to exit the game. Okay. I'm going to stop my recording for that section. So that was a pinball game that makes you mad.